You can.
Hello there, Internet friends. This is Danielle Pierce, creator of Real Estate Profit Lab and founder of Property Preservation Mastery. So we are still going through our video series, Preservation During the Pandemic, where we're featuring a variety of students who have both started and or scaled their business during the pandemic. Got folks who are juggling new businesses, new babies, homeschools, multiple businesses, so many different things, multi-generational families in one house. So we're going to be talking to Rosalind in just a second about that. But before I jump in, real quick, many of you guys have been asking for discount codes over the past. Well, people always ask for discount codes. So we do have some available. We're going to be launching 6 discount codes, and some of them have been sent out already. They are going to our email list only. So if you're not on our email list, please head to propertypreservationmastery.com to get on there. Each code is worth between $200 to $500 off of the regular priced program. All the codes expire at midnight on June 16th. Central Standard Time. I am hosting a live Q&A to get any questions answered. So drop your questions in the comments below. As always, please like, subscribe, share the video, do all that good stuff. These videos are going to stay up because y'all need to see. I think these success stories are pretty powerful, but the discount codes will not be valid beyond June the 16th. So today I'm talking to Miss Rosalind out what city are you in?
Riverview, Florida.
Riverview, Florida. All right. And you are someone who has registered a while ago. So we are definitely going to get into what has been going on with you the past couple of years. Now, Riverview, Florida, how far, what's the closest major city to there?
I am just outside the Tampa line. So I'm in the suburbs of
Tampa. Okay. And how's your day going so far?
It's going very well.
Very well. All right. I'd heard you say, well, we talked before the camera started rolling and you said that you were out doing inspections today. Is that normally a part of your day?
I do inspections between 4 and 5 days a week. Yes.
4 to 5 days a week. All right. And you are working that around a regular 9 to 5, or what do you normally, what does your day even look like? Let's just start there. What do you do when you wake up?
Well, I wake up, so it varies. So summer is one schedule and then the school year, because I take care of my granddaughter who's school age. But my day consists of starting early. And if I don't have to get my granddaughter to school, then I will do inspections that morning if I have any scheduled. And I can usually do about 3 or 4 in the morning before I go to work. And some people are like, what? Yes, I'll tell you all about it in just a minute. So I can do a few inspections before I go to work, make my extra money in the morning, do my day job. And I'm a pharmacist, so my day is a long day. And then I get off work, and then I'll do some more inspections in the afternoon.
Okay. So I always say, many times over the years, I've said that inspections literally should take like a couple of minutes once you get good at them. If we're talking drive by, we're literally like maybe 1 minute. And then if it's interior, you got to do a door knock, maybe 3 to 4 minutes. So is that your experience now? And what was it like when you first started doing them?
So it's changed just a little bit. So now they require us to actually get out and knock on the door and take a photo of you knocking on the door. Okay. So you have to leave your vehicle. However, I've been doing it now for a couple of months. So I've got it down to about 3 minutes, and then I'm back in the car and on to the next property. Yeah. The interior, they want to do about 100 photos, but I've got that down to about 15, 20 minutes on the property, and then I'm out the door.
Okay. And then are you finding that properties are you're running into more and more vacant properties, or what's the story with that?
Yeah, so I started about 2 months ago in April, and there were a lot of just occupancy knocks. They want to see, does anybody live there? Yep. And I'm actually doing repeats of houses I've done 2 months ago, and now I'm going back, and some of them are now vacancy checks. So I can actually go in and see how long the individual has been delinquent. And so I'm kind of realizing, okay, I'll go back next month and it'll probably be a vacancy. So they're converting from occupancy to vacancies.
So that's generally a good sign what you want, because evictions are costly for both sides. So if people are leaving voluntarily, then that's good. Any stories that you've had from people where you're knocking on doors? Are people typically irate? Are they confused? Are they like pretending they don't know what's going on? What are you finding?
It is funny because when I say, I introduce myself and tell them I'm from the mortgage company to take home, and they'll go, what mortgage company? And I'm like the person who holds the loan for your home. So in my mind, I'm like, you know exactly who this is. So actually, I have a story for you. So during my very first month, you make a lot of errors, trial and errors. You learn along the way. And so I'm out doing an occupancy check, and I actually have to knock on the doors, have to go to the person's front door. So they have these two huge dogs, but they're in a fence enclosure, and the dogs are barking. But I get my hair and get my knock, and I'm leaving the property. I leave. The next day I go to work. I'm at work. I get a call from the sheriff's department, and they say, were you out at somebody's property taking pictures? And so I said, oh yeah, I took a lot. Which one are you talking about? So I had a conversation with the sheriff about what I do. And she said, you're perfectly legal what you're doing. Mm-hmm. And what happened is the person wasn't home, but the neighbor had a camera, and they informed me, hey, somebody was outside taking pictures, and they took a picture of my license plate and called the sheriff. So when I explained to the sheriff what I do, I sent her a copy of the actual work order for that particular property. Yeah. She's like, okay, you're perfectly fine. So she suggested that I actually get some type of apparel that says, maybe property inspector with a big magnifier on the back so you can see it from a distance. And so I actually have that.
Oh, that's so cool. And what's the name of your company? The Sheba Group. Yes.
That's my company name. And then it says property inspector, all of them in white so you can see it from a distance. And on the back, it has a big magnifying glass, picture of a magnifying glass. So thanks to the sheriffs, I got that done right away. Business expense. So
now that's not going to stop people from calling the police on you though, right?
No, but you know what? When I wear this shirt, I get no comments.
Really?
Nobody bothers me. When I don't have it on, like if I go right after work and I forget it, then people might ask me. And so my 6-year-old granddaughter said, hey, you need to keep a shirt in the car. And I said, you are absolutely.
Oh, so sometimes she goes with you?
She does. She's like, I want to ride along with you. So she might ride along.
Yeah, that's so cool. Well, you already know how I feel about, passing down entrepreneurship and, changing the paradigm from, not saying the old paradigm needs to be thrown away entirely, but I think if you introduce kids to anything at an early age, like they get it, and they get it way faster than we do.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, you registered a while ago, Miss Roslyn, 2019, and you say you just started doing something 2 months ago. So please do tell the people what was it? I know it's some fear because everybody's scared, so that's normal. But was it like crippling fear? Was it like lack of time? What was the what were you thinking?
So it was a couple of things. So I went through your modules pretty quickly. So I signed up in May. Yep. Did my due diligence, checked you out, tried to find out what it's all about and what this entails. And after doing my due diligence, listened to your presentation, I signed up. Mm-hmm. And I was all gung-ho, ready to start. And then I got through the modules and you were like, okay, now you need to get insurance. And now you need to start. And then you're like, okay, now you need to look for subcontractors. Like, but I haven't gotten to the course. So what do I say to subcontractors? Mm-hmm. So you're like, I want you to go in and start interviewing stuff. And so that was like, ooh, wait a minute, it's a little too much. Okay. But I did call a subcontractor because you put it out there and you said, I challenge you to do this, to call a subcontractor, and I did that. And then school started. Okay. And so now we're back in school in August. I finished the course and school started, and life got busy. And I kind of put it on the back burner. I didn't forget about it. I just kind of put it on the back burner. It wasn't as intense about it as I should have been. So then I picked it back up in early 2020, and I said, okay, I'm getting ready to do this. I'm going to do this. In January 2020, I got everything together. I got my insurance. I had already been incorporated. I got incorporated in September of 2019. So I'm paying taxes in 2019 with no income. And so I got everything. I even had a cleaning person, a person to haul trash, a person to do lawns. I had my first crew all together. Then COVID hit and stopped everything. So I didn't stop the company, but my workers, of course, tried to find additional work during COVID because there was nothing coming out. Yeah. So for 2019, it kind of just sat there. And then in January of this year, I said, okay, listen, let me see what we could do. Because even you were saying it's going to turn around and things are going to happen, then the moratorium is going to lift, and then there's going to be evictions, unfortunately. Yeah. And so I started again, and then I got a crew again. And I applied to 3 national companies, mm-hmm. and I got hired by one, mm-hmm. and that was in February. Okay. And so I had my workers lined up. but then I had no jobs coming.
Okay.
And I kept saying, okay, well, they should be coming. They should be coming. They should be coming. And by the time I actually got my first work order in April, I didn't have a crew.
Yeah,
I actually got 4 orders at a time, Danielle, 4 clean outs. And I did not have a crew. And I was like, no. So, and then I had to turn those down. I said, I turned them down and I explained to the company why. And they said, okay, well, we'll keep you in mind for the next one. They called me 2 weeks later. I said, not have a crew. So after that, I said, okay, 3 strikes, I'm probably going to be out. So I then scaled back. I said, what can I do? I remember you saying inspections. Yep. And so I asked about that. And then I started doing inspections and they just started rolling in.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I like that. I like that progression because it shows that, you made some shifts, you pivoted where you needed to, and you just kind of stayed the course. And I think that's really ideal. That's all you can ask. The inspections will always be plentiful. I think that they'll probably increase substantially now.
Yes.
You don't want to get stuck doing them though, right? So, keep that in the back of your mind. Yeah. But I think I've always said inspections are like the easiest money ever. And people are like, why do you say that? How do you do? I'm like, listen, I've done very well with inspections for a long time. I mean, I don't have to do any now, but I've done them for years. I've done thousands of inspections. And yeah, I just feel like it's easy money. It's better than me going to punch a clock somewhere. That's what I always tell myself anyway.
And you can manage your own time. So
yeah, it is. But I think, so was it scary for you managing your time? Because you're a pharmacist. Have you had other businesses before? Like, what's your background with being a business owner?
So I had Mary Kay.
Okay.
Did that for a little bit. Okay. So I've had other little businesses, but this is my second LLC.
Okay.
And so I said, okay, God, I actually didn't know anything about this. And so he introduced it to me because I saw you on Facebook. Mm-hmm. And so kudos to you. I saw the ad on Facebook. Okay. And I actually stopped. Normally I just scroll through the ads. I actually stopped, listened to the ad. So it had to be God because I didn't know anything about this business. And for me to listen to something that's outside of the realm that I'm used to. Yeah. God. And so I just had that urge to listen and then to learn more about it. And I just went with it. And so I prayed about it and he said, go forth and pursue. So I'm still doing it. And I'm like, God, as long as you're with me, I'm going to do this. So.
That is so wonderful. So obviously your goal is you see that the work was available, right? And now it's really coming. I got a couple emails in the past 2 weeks where one company was like, July is the date because the moratorium expires June 30th. I don't think it's going to be extended again. Right. Because the vaccinations are, they've kind of been, the campaign is rolled out pretty well. And I don't see that it's going to be extended again. But one company said July and another one also said the same thing for July. And then you already had some clean outs that you had to turn down. So this crew, are you going to rebuild it again or start looking again? Or are you going to take it easy?
I'm going to try to rebuild because I know the houses that I've been to thus far, some of them, they were supposed to be vacant and they're not. I actually went to a property that was, the owners just left it a mess. They, and I'll talk to the neighbors and they left it a mess and the mortgage company didn't know that they hadn't been gone 6 months. This house has been vacant. They actually left the windows open. They left the door open. They still left their furniture that they couldn't take with them in there. And so these are going to be houses where people just abandon them. They just take what they can when they leave. And it's going to be a lot of trash outs I see coming. I went to a property just yesterday and the mortgage company thought it was occupied, but it's been vacant for 2 years.
And how did you find out it was vacant for 2 years? Talking to the nosy neighbors? That's how I usually find out.
Yes, they come and see me. This shirt is just drawing people out. So what do you do? And then they ask me, is the house for sale? So they're asking all, and I just say, okay, they want to talk to me. Tell me about this house.
Yeah. Well, obviously there's only so much you can tell them though, right? Too, because sometimes they'll be like, are you going to buy it? Do you work for the bank? And who's the bank? And so you can't be like, oh, this house in foreclosure, I'm here to, you can't talk like that. But I
don't know, but keep your ears out, keep your ears open, your eyes open.
Yeah. Or you could just check the internet. I mean, as you know, you can find out about just about any property unless it's in a trust. You can find out the status online. Right. Unfortunately. All right. So the crew, you've had some clean outs. You had to turn those down. That's not the end of the world. They're not going to be going anywhere. You can always, you'll get those opportunities again. You're doing the inspections. You started off a couple of months ago. You had your first almost four-figure month. So that was
Yes,
surprised by that.
I was. I was.
Why were you surprised?
Well, because when February I didn't get anything, in March I didn't get anything. So April, the very first week, I only got 2 orders.
Okay.
And then the second week I got maybe like 10 or 15.
Yeah.
And then the last week they just started rolling in.
Yeah.
And but then the next month I was overwhelmed because I didn't know I put the entire county that
But I bet you changed that now, though, didn't you?
I changed that quickly because I was running all over the county. And so it was a good thing, but at the same time, it was overwhelming. So I scaled back. And
Yeah.
actually, because of that, my son now wants to join and say, hey, I can do this too. So I can work for you. And yeah, so then I'll probably add more areas within the county.
And your son, how old is he? How old is your son?
He's 18.
He's 18. So you have an 18-year-old, and then you said 2 children and 2 grandchildren, right?
3 children and 3 grandchildren.
Okay. But in the house with you right now, it's
2 and 2.
2 and 2. Okay. So you have a multi-generational household, and you say it's working out well because you have your me time and you have your 9 to 5, and you go out and do your work, do your inspections and set up your business. So are they, besides your son, is anyone else and the 6-year-old, are the other ones interested in what you're doing too?
My daughter that doesn't live with me, she does go with me, so she accompanies me, and she's okay with it because she's like, okay, this is my side money because you pay me a little bit to ride with you.
I love
So
it.
she's okay with it, but they're doing their own thing right now.
Yeah.
One's in school and one's launching a business of her own. So
What
I'm
kind of business
supporting them
are you
with
gonna
those. A clothing line, so it's a boutique, I should say. So she will be launching soon. So she'll have it out there in the public soon.
Question for you. Did you have anybody who doubted you getting it started in this business in the beginning?
No, I have a really good group of girlfriends who are very supportive, and I actually have a sibling who owns a business.
Yeah.
And because we had so many people in my circle of friends that were launching their own private businesses, we actually formed a business club. And my sister, she's been, and one other friend have been in business for over 25 years. They actually coordinated it and was teaching us what we need to do, the taxes and, everything, the legality of it, to make sure that once we do launch it, or if we have launched it, what we need to do to stay legal about it.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's an excellent thing to have as a good support system. So what are your plans? Like, where do you intend your preservation company to be, even just by the end of the year, over the next 6 months? What's your plan?
Well, I'm not going to quit my day job right away because
Right. Please don't do that. Don't do that.
no, pharmacy is a good field.
Yeah.
But what I do plan on doing is expanding. I do want to keep doing inspections because actually that's my me time. I get in the car, I get to drive, and I get to do my own thing and have some quiet time away from family and from work. But I do want to expand to the trash house and the yard maintenance, because I see that as like you said, the moratorium list, there's going to be more work available. So it's not going to be like a little here, a little there. And the crew that I had, I can reach out to them to see if they're available, or new people, because there are a lot of people that are looking to change jobs and add on to what they're doing. So I'm looking to expand and add to my resume by the end of the year.
Yeah, that's gonna be exciting. Do you see yourself expanding to another county too in Florida, like a nearby county?
Yes. So we have several neighboring counties, and the plan is, my final plan is hopefully my son and maybe my daughter will each own a county.
All right, hold on one second, Rosalind. Hold on one second, y'all. I'll be right back. All right, see, I am returned. I had to break up a small argument between the children over a piece of bacon. So here I am. So tell me again what about were you thinking about expanding to another county in Florida?
Yes, that's my ultimate goal is to expand to two neighboring counties that are just as large as the county I'm in.
Yeah.
And then hopefully, throughout the state as I get more crews and more people to join the workforce.
Yeah. Okay. What do I want to ask you now? What advice would you have for anybody who's considering property preservation? Like, what would you tell them in terms of just anything? Like, what would you want to say?
It's a good, I don't know if you want to call it a career, but it's a good job opportunity, business opportunity. It is going to be expanding. One thing, there are always going to be vacant houses, no matter the market.
Yeah.
And so you're going to have opportunity. There's always grass that needs to be cut. And there's always going to be people moving in and out. And so right now, this is an excellent time to start your business or to join a business if you're going to join with someone else. And then don't shy away from different opportunities because initially I wasn't going to do inspections only because when in the course it doesn't pay as much as some of the other jobs, but God will bless you where you are. And if you're faithful in what you're doing, you're going to be blessed and you'll be successful. And so I started with the notion of trash outs and cleaning out and doing yard work, and then found out, okay, that's not going to work for me, at least right now. And
Yeah.
so then I looked at the other opportunities. So don't set aside the small things. So like I said, don't despise small beginnings
Yeah.
because in the end, you're going to be successful if you're diligent and you're faithful to what you're doing.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. There was something you said I wanted to ask a question about. What was it? Oh, there's another student, Tasha Wesley. I talked to her a couple days ago, and she said the same thing about inspection too. She was like, "I think this is the easiest thing." And only way it starts to not work out is if you start traveling too far, or if you make the mistake, like many of us have done. I know I have. Like, oh, you need the whole county covered. I could do the whole county, and then they start sending you work. You like, oh, I didn't know the county was this big.
So like if you're in Atlanta, that's a big city. So you have to just look at the layout and say how much you can do and how much it's manageable. Because if you say I can do it, they'll send it.
They will. Yeah. And the funny thing about Texas, where I'm at now, is that, Texas is such a large state. So sometimes I'll get calls and they'll be like, can you do this inspection? Can you do this property? And it's literally like 5 hours away. They think because it's in Texas, like that you're somewhere close by. Oh, like that is a half day's drive. And Florida is the same way too, right? Florida, you can.
It can be. Orlando is an hour away and they have lots of property, but I don't want to drive an hour away.
Yeah. And that's probably with no traffic. So if you run into traffic, how long is the ride?
Exactly. You could be in literally 2-3 hours, depends on what the traffic issue is. Wow. And there's always accidents in Florida.
I don't know if you follow my personal Facebook page, but I have made a post about that for DFW. I was like, one thing you're gonna see out here is some folks crashing into each other at a 4-way stop sign, a street with 30-mile-per-hour speed limit. It is the oddest thing, and it's like nobody's out here, and you two fools have crashed into each other, and there's nothing going on. It's not raining. The damn sure not snowing. It's just so weird. Like everybody is just so distracted. Is that the word? Just not paying attention. Yeah. I don't know.
We have accidents every day on our interstates, and don't let it rain because, we hardly get rain here. And when we do, it's just, people just can't drive in the rain. I mean, they drive with their hazard lights on when it's sunny, and then they drive with their hazard lights on the whole time it's raining. So
I want to ask you, what's driving you? I know you said that, you have some children in the house with you, some older children. Well, technically older children, right? You have some grandchildren there. You take the 6-year-old out with you sometimes. Your daughter goes with you sometimes. You already have a 9-to-5, so obviously you're stable. But what's driving you though? What's pushing you?
I actually like doing the inspections. Initially I was like, okay, this will just be extra money so that we can pay off some bills earlier, and then we can do some things like travel and some other fun things with the money. So my fun money. But I actually like doing it. And then I feed the homeless every Saturday. So my heart is for them. And so actually some of these proceeds will be used to help the homeless. And because you can always receive and earn money for yourself, but at the end of the day, for me, it's useless if I don't help somebody else. So I don't want to be selfish. God is blessing me and I have more than enough. And so I'm going to use this to help someone else. So
So every Saturday, how long have you been doing that?
4 years, 3, 4 years.
That's
Every
um, outstanding. I did a video not too long ago where I was basically talking about just how easy it is to become homeless in the so-called, land of the free and home of the brave, right?
right.
Most people, and in fact, for all of my childhood and in my early adult life, 1 to 2 checks away from being homeless.
Exactly.
So it's when you look at people and you're like, how did you let this happen? How did you get here? Like, it is stunningly easy for it to happen. All it takes is just a couple of things that happen at the same time, and most folks will probably end up in that situation. Yeah,
Yep. The pandemic has made it a reality.
yeah. Huh. Now I gotta figure out something to do now, because I'm just you're like, I feed the homeless, I have a 9 to 5, I take care of my grandchildren. I'm just like, oh.
I know. My friends say you never sit down. I don't. On my days off, I'm like, I'm bored. I need to do something.
Anything else you want anybody to know about you? The name of your company? What do you, whether you're looking for contractors, what do you want to say as like a last word?
So I am located in the Tampa Bay area, Florida. My name of my company is the Sheba Group. I know it's
Yeah.
probably in reverse, is the Sheba Group. And I am looking for contractors that can do landscape, that can haul trash, and that can do cleaning. Those are things that I don't want to do. So I don't want to get my hands on to do that because I have other things I want to be doing. So you can do all of that and I will pay you. So just give me a call. Well, I'm sorry. Look me up on Facebook
Yes.
and we can contact you. Or you can contact Danielle and she'll contact me.
Now I'll drop the information in the comment section whenever this video gets posted. One more thing too, since you were talking about expanding, when people start asking you those questions and being nosy about the different neighbors, many times people are looking for landscapers for their personal properties. So have you thought about getting some business cards together and starting to develop those relationships at all?
Yeah, so actually this is helping me as I go out. Actually I'll see people doing houses like next door or across the street. So I actually went to a brand new subdivision to do an inspection. I was like, wow, they're building houses and now I'm doing an inspection on a house that they just built. So this had to be during the pandemic. So, I pray for the families because I don't like people to lose their home.
Yep.
But yeah, as I'm out there and I see you'll see people hauling trash, you see landscapers, you'll see contractors building, and I get their information because I never know when I may need them. But then someone on your Facebook feed may also need somebody. So, you pass it on.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for agreeing to talk to me today. I'm so glad I got a chance to sit down and chat with you. You've made me officially decide to go and find a volunteer opportunity. And for real, I mean, I've thought about it, but I've not done anything with it. Not consistently, I do things, but it's not every Saturday, like you said. So, and I think it's important to be intentional with whatever you do. So
Yeah.
thank you for that. Thank you for your time. Bless you and your grandchildren and your children and all your future
Thank you.
endeavors. And I think that's it. Thanks again.
All right. You have a great day.
All right. You enjoy the rest of your day too. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.